fan service makes games better, at least in the aspect of the communities. Originally, I was going to start this video off with Brown Dust 2, in case you haven't seen that, there's a video on that already, but Brown Dust 2 got my video demonetized last time, so we're avoiding that one for now. Did you know that 94% of you aren't subscribed? But fan service, at least in my opinion, makes games better strictly because the communities themselves are usually better. I understand you can hate fan service. For instance, I play the more fan servicey or the more, I suppose, sexualized the design, the less inclined I am to go for that character. But I also understand that I'm in the minority for that one. I'm using it as an example, not necessarily to illustrate a point. In regards to this game in particular, which is Zenless Zone Zero, it's, I think, the more showy out of the respective horror games, that being Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. The designs are very nice, don't get me wrong. Lucy, in my opinion, is extremely cute, but I'm a dedicated Nekomata simp. Koleda is a close second, alongside Soukaku. But overall, every design in this game is great, especially, let's not forget, the Cinema 6 art. It is always good, at least in my opinion. But I think that one of the benefits of fan service is that when a game is very blatant and upfront about it, you end up pushing away a lot of the individuals who would naturally just be unhappy with it. If a game you're playing, hypothetically speaking, let's use Genshin as an example, if Genshin starts out with no fan service, which it basically has, and then started shoving that everywhere, whether that be with swimsuits, because let's be honest here, the swimsuits they added weren't really that good, and they stopped doing it. If they added more fan service, you'd have a lot of individuals who'd be very unhappy. Now, you could be unhappy with the directional change in this game. An example could be Snowbird Containment Zone. But I do believe that if a game at least starts out with fan service and is very blatant and upfront about it, you push away individuals who would be dissatisfied by it, and as a result, you end up with a player base that both either A, likes the game for its base gameplay loop, its character buildings, whatever the case may be, and B, likes the designs. I think that one of the benefits Zenless Zone Zero has right now is that even though, yes, we're not getting very fan servicey designs, we're getting a lot more showy designs than we would in stuff like HSR or Genshin, and especially with the Cinema 6 art. As a result of that, you push away a lot of individuals, yes, but the community's more chill. I understand the official subreddit banned Piper for whatever idiotic, stupid reason they decided it was perfectly reasonable to ban even the mentioning of her, but either way, it still does, in my opinion at least, show that yeah, you do have individuals who will be dissatisfied by the circumstance. And as a result, that community is just gonna grow somewhere else. Okay Buddy Trailblazer is a great example. If you've ever been to that subreddit, you know what it's like. If you've never been to that subreddit, don't. I think that you do have those niche games that are very odd in the consideration department of them. Blue Archive, for example, isn't super duper fan servicey. Yes, the live 2Ds are very cute, they're pretty, they're gorgeous, the music is nice, but they only get super fan servicey when you're talking about the swimsuit designs or characters like Amy, for example. But the community of BA knows what the game is about and actively acts as a sort of gatekeeper and deterrent because of the ages of the characters. So we can't count that. Arknights has very lewd skins, but Arknights itself is a less popular gacha. I think the less popular a gacha game is, yes, the better the community will be, but subsequently as a result, if the game gets more popular, if the game has fan service, it sort of moderates to a degree. The TLDR of that is, Zenless Zone Zero is probably going to have the best of the HoYoverse communities, but it's still going to be tied to HoYoverse, and as a result, it's going to have a god-awful community half the time. Play Brown Dust 2, play Blue Archive, play literally any other gacha, and I think the community is going to be better 9 times out of 10. Now, this does sort of operate in the place of a previous video, which was that smaller games have better communities, but that video got demonetized, so we're kind of going over it here anyway, because that video is getting taken down just for safety. But I'm of the wholehearted belief that because smaller game communities and because fan servicey games already have a bad rep, what you usually end up with is a game where the people who play it are just happy to find someone to talk to with it about. Whether that be they're confused and they want to explain to somebody, whether that be they like the game or the characters or the designs or know something that they very much are intrigued and inclined and wanting to tell people about. Smaller game communities are much more appreciative of the attention games get. And as a result, the community's better. Guess what? You can go to most smaller communities and simp for characters, and people won't care because, hey, at least you're playing the game. Well, yes, you're obviously gonna have some stupid-ass communities, example being Reverse 1999, but hey, some communities are just awful to be in. I think that anybody who's played a HoYo game can attest that HoYoverse gachas becoming mainstream was just a bad thing. Because you can't avoid the community. The people complaining about it on Twitter aren't even playing the game. People complaining about it on Reddit barely spend money or don't at all. So objectively speaking, their opinions don't matter to the devs. And it makes the game a worse experience, not just for, yes, the individuals who play the game casually on their free time, but subsequently anyone who maybe wanted to get into it. Like, have you tried discussing Genshin in any open context, like, you know, in real life with other people? It's awful because of the community being so bad. I mean, not like the content creators are helping. Either way, I would personally say, if you're looking for a gacha to play, ZZZ would be my recommendation among the miHoYo games. I'd say HSR would be next, and I'd say Genshin requires a lot more time, and it's so big that it's kind of difficult to avoid. ZZ, HSR. Then I'd say if you have a lot of free time but only want fan service, Brown Dust 2. If you're looking for more story-based stuff, you can go either the Blue Archive route for characterization, for good stories, for good events, or you can go for maybe the Nikkei route. If you are fine with realistically not having live 2Ds and like those character designs more, I think BA and Nikkei are relatively similar. If you don't like the gameplay loops of either of those games, there is Arknights, which has tower defense gameplay, which you can be iffy on, that's perfectly fine. If you want something like Zenless Zone Zero's combat system, I'd say Aethergazer. It's a great game, it doesn't have a PC launcher, and emulating on it is awful, so don't do that. And yes, I played a lot of gachas. But overall, I think fan service, self-moderate. Smaller communities, happy to have someone in it, care less. Fan service plus small community equals everybody simps for somebody and people don't judge you as much. The downside is, if its community's bad when it's small, it's gonna be bad when it's big. Tell me your favorite gacha communities down below. Go visit OkBuddy Trailblazer if you are a long-term viewer of this channel, because you'll likely like the things you see. Soukaku Guide will be coming out, I believe, if this video goes out on Friday, Soukaku will come out on Monday. Then it will be followed by a Koleda guide, and then I'll just go through the rest of the 4 stars. Korin as well. By the way, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.